Hi everybody, this is Tom with Culture Chat. So today I want to talk to you about comedy or tragedy and which will do better for your theater. Now, I think that they should not be mutually opposite each other. I think that if you're choosing one show that is only tragedy, that's fine. I think if you're choosing one show that is only comedy, that's fine. But why aren't you mixing the two? And why aren't you hiring the comic actor to do the tragic stuff and the comic actor doing some funny stuff in your tragedy? Maybe the whole show isn't tragedy, it's just the ending. And how do you craft all of this? And what are you crafting? So, as theater makers, we are manipulating the audience. That's really what we're doing. Whether you're directing, acting, whatever you're doing, lighting, all of us are manipulating the audience. When you think about laughter, well, think about watching a play, or even watching your favorite TV show with friends as opposed to being alone. You could watch, say, Friends and laugh alone, and that's great. Do you realize that you're probably laughing more and harder and more frequently when you watch with a group or your partner? Laughter is this social thing. It's this signal. It is this auditory signal to other humans, or your dog, or whoever. Emotion is happening. When you think about laughter, it's a strange thing to come out of our mouths, considering that we are very careful with pronunciation and enunciation and elocution and accents that we are with our other words. If we don't, in whatever language you speak, if you don't pronounce things correctly, words can be misconstrued, okay? Laughter is just sound. It is a social signal, and it's something we share. We don't necessarily cry together as a large group. It's only in the theater, maybe the movies, where you might cry as a large group. And when you start to think about how you're crafting things, wouldn't it be wonderful if you can encompass a lot more emotion for the audience with a character that's more fully rounded? Are tragic characters or dramatic characters, are they ever people characters that we can laugh at? Yes, frequently. Or be horrified at, or else telenovelas, reality shows where you're like, what? What did she do? What happened to him? Oh no. They wouldn't be so popular. We want to be manipulated. We're fine with it. And do it with quality. That's what the audience is saying. That's what the theater makers are saying. We need to do this with quality. Now, have you ever heard the phrase, often people in the industry, whatever industry you are in entertainment, they just want to be part of the results. They don't want to be part of the process. But it's only within the process and going through the process do you realize who deserves to be in the results. I think this is actually a phrase from Maggie Smith with her days at the RSC. And she's right. If we don't craft these things in rehearsal, then we don't deserve to be in the results. And when you want to argue with me in the comments and say, oh, filming, they never rehearse, that's not really that true. They have to rehearse. Not everything. Maybe some things are on the fly. Fight scenes are rehearsed. Crying scenes, sex scenes, they're all rehearsed. Walking around each other, walking through each other. A lot of this is rehearsed. It's not on the fly. So you must rehearse. And in rehearsal, do you find these nuggets of gold? And in rehearsal, if you've hired someone who's an actor or actress that is usually the comedian, and you're like, they can't be in this serious part because, gosh, they walk on stage and they elicit laughter from the audience because they know they're going to be funny. Well, lean into it. So you've hired them for this other part. Fantastic. And give them some bits. You know from my other videos that I'm really in favor of like the fun grandparents or the fun aunt or uncle, the single one that's lost their mate. Um, and they're buddies with the kid. They're poking the kid's poking them behind the parents' back. This is fun. That's real. And then grandma dies. So and you think, well, I can't be funny. Start to just stop it and start to look at the things you love. What works? We have seasons and seasons of Downton Abbey and a couple movies, and we know Maggie Smith from her career can be hilarious. We also know that she can be perfectly dramatic. And as the grandma, the fun grandma, she is many, many things to us. She is crusty. She is conservative. She's kind of bitchy, maybe, depending on how you look at it. She's also much more nuanced than we think. She's had maybe a slightly wild past that we can't quite get all the information on. If you think about Prince Karagan, and then the villa she was left in the south of France. Wow, she did have a past. And this makes an older actor, an older character, that can be funny, that can be serious, that can be everything. Okay? If you like Ted Lasso, Keely's amazing. Whoever thought of putting Keely, who you might describe as the empty-headed model, the empty-headed bimbo, which she's not, Keely really is the moral center of Ted Lasso. There are more people in it that are the moral center, but she is the character who's hilarious. We love her antics. We love her way of speaking. She is pro-women. She is pro-sport. She's pro a lot of things. She's the character that says like, do you really feel like that? Is that what you really want to do? Is that the wisest decision? I support you. Okay? She's funny. She's serious. She can handle a lot of different things. And we love her for that. And you may just think of Keely as a comic character, but there's a lot happening in Ted Lasso that is drama. Let's take something else. Samantha from Sex and the City. Now, I, for one, think when Samantha left, everything left. Because Samantha is also the supportive friend. She is hilarious with her delivery. She is also everything else that has heart in that series. She's so loyal to her friends and refuses to judge. Wow, why don't we have more characters like this? You may not like Sex and the City. It was very popular, and that is something. You may think like, popularity, why does that matter to me? You're trying to sell tickets, okay? You're trying to sell tickets, and you may have a show or an opera or a ballet that is very similar to that. There's an anti-hero. The lead of this piece makes a lot of mistakes, but we're still kind of for them. They are supported by these best buddies, this close-knit family, this group of friends, and each of them is quite a character in themselves. Wonderful. Wonderful. The more fantastic characters you can land on, even if they're on for a few seconds, like, they're like that. That one's a neat freak. That one thinks they're funny, but they're not. That one has dad jokes. Or that one just makes faces. It doesn't matter how small the part is. When you can land on those things, it makes it so much richer for your audience. Samantha was just everything. She was the heart. She was the non-judgmental. She was the loyal character. She was the beauty. She encompassed more things in that character, and the way that actress handled that character with her very expressive face and her big expressive eyes, and her body language, than maybe we thought possible. She's more than just, the loose woman, the Blanche Devereaux. She's more than just that character. The actors in your purview have more to offer than you think. Just because you've seen them in shows in the past where they've offered just a small variety because they're typecast. And really think about typecasting. Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie was amazing. She could really sing. We just wanted her as Jeannie. She didn't really do well in other other entertainment things. It's too bad because she could do so much. We're stuck on that character. Samantha from Bewitched, we're stuck on that character when she actually had a lot of versatility. We're stuck on many characters. I like Nathan Fillion, but we're sort of stuck on the cheeky, funny Nathan Fillion. And when he tries to do something dramatic and there's no laughs, we're a little disappointed, even though he can do anything. So decide what you want to do with those actors that you're underutilizing and what can they do that you just forgot about. And have them audition. Always audition. I have a very popular video about the fact that you always need to audition. And it boils down to you don't know what your director or artistic director has viewed you at. You think, oh, in my community, I've done all these variety of things. Did they come to every show? Did they see you on a good night? Always audition. Show them what you can do. It doesn't matter how old you are or how famous you are. You always need to audition, especially if it's something where they've said to you, oh, I don't quite see you in that. Really? If you know you have variety and versatility, and that's not ego. If you're thinking about your talent correctly, you can separate ego from reality and go, can I do that? If you just take off the blinders and think, what is ego for my talent? And what can I do? And what do I not want to do? I know a lot of the reason that Kim Cattrall left Sex and the City. She said, I'm getting older and I don't want any more nude scenes. And this character depends on nude scenes. And the audiences will make fun of me. And it will be the death of me. Plus, she was getting offered so much work in a variety of fields of movies, theater, other TV shows. And she had to take advantage of it. And other reasons that are gossiped about. But I say that as a working actor who knows their worth, who has separated ego from their versatility, and realized what they can do, what they won't do, what the audiences that watch them will believe. And you need to do that with your own theaters. Just because you've seen them in some things and you think that's all they can do, ask them. And go through the script and say, this requires this. You are 70. That's great. You're so experienced. Do you realize this character is 50? That's fine. That's fine with us. We can age it up. But they have a fight scene. Can you do that? Let's have a very clear conversation about what you can do. And leave it at that. If you can't do it, you need to speak up. You know, what can you do? The comedic actor can do anything usually. And start running them through your brain. What comedic actors that you thought of as just comedy can do anything? Tom Hanks, Robin Williams, Bill Hader. Yes, they're hilarious, but they can do anything. They have versatility. They have much more tools in their bag, much more strings to their bow than you may have originally thought. And they could sell tickets. You could sell tickets. Think about what I said. We're manipulating the audience. And if you have your drama and it has a little more mirth and a little more pathos than originally seen in your brain when you first read the script, this could be wonderful. And stop thinking that comedy actors, that being comedic is easy. It's not easy. It takes timing and talent and a whole bunch of other things. And maybe your message in your play or musical will get across better if there's some amusing bits in it, however small. Or the character that is about to die, that everyone knows because they know the story, is about to die. Maybe it's all the more painful in the end when they die and you realize they're much more three-dimensional than you originally thought. So doing these kind of videos, you were forced to bring up your experiences, which is great. I don't want to bring up my experience again, my directing Little Women the musical, but it suddenly occurs to me that Beth is the perfect character. It's such an old literature piece, and we all know what's going to happen. Beth is going to die. And in the reality, Beth is in a lot of group scenes, and she doesn't have that many lines. She has some good lines. She doesn't have that many lines. So I wanted to make my Beth, who was a great actress, who was a wonderful actress, who could sing like a songbird, so good. Again, patting myself on the back for my casting. Okay. I made her more three-dimensional character. I gave her some comedy. I gave her some good reactions. She had very expressive face. We just were really, really upset as we saw her slow progression with scarlet fever and then her eventual death. Okay, that happens off stage. With a longing look to her family right before she's about to die off stage. You know, we really miss her because she's more developed than just the original script told me or the details from the book, which is 600 pages. That wouldn't be a flat character. Make your characters less flat. Add in. If your person is good at comedy, put it in. All these things. In comedy and drama, they're both difficult. They both take talent, which you know that already. So, make it work for you. Make your ticket sell. Maybe the people will just come because you have a comedic actor in that role and they're very curious. Doesn't matter. Your tickets are selling. All right, so that's my message for today. Comedy or tragedy, they're both sides of the same coin and they're more closely related than you think, and they can sell. They can sell, and you can be very satisfied. All right, please subscribe. We'll talk again. Bye.